Hi, it's the Great Vanzini. I'm back again. This is my third time recording this over 3 days. I even uploaded it once and then went back and looked and found I did things wrong. First time I rambled on for 35 minutes on chord theory and all sorts of strange esoteric stuff. And then the second time, of course, I kept calling one chord in here by its wrong name. And that was the one I uploaded. So I'm going to try it again. Wichita Lineman. First, I want to give a shout out to Ed Dana. Ed Dana mentioned a few weeks ago that he liked to use at home, I don't know how he uses it, but his Vox DA5, which is an old practice amp. And I would lift it up and show it to you, but the problem is, well, I got pictures. I'll show you pictures of it. So what I'm doing is going into the Vox, and then I'm going into a little Behringer power amp that's it's my house system. It's like a powered amp that's about this big, and the cool thing about the Vox is it has a dedicated line out, so you can go out to the house system, or you can go into a powered amp, or if you're recording, it's a little practice amp like a microcube. And if you're recording, though, you can do that direct line out to your DAW interface, to your Scarlett, Focusrite, whatever it is you use. And it sounds way better going direct out. It's an all digital amp, no tubes. But it just sounds incredibly good going into the recording deck. So it's really odd. So thank you, Ed Dana, for mentioning that. I remember I've had it for years. And I thought, wait a minute, what have I done with my DA5? I haven't used that in years. And so I dug it out. Poor thing was neglected. And that's what I'm using today, just going into a little Behringer power amp from the Vox. And It sounds great. It's got all the built-in stuff like, you know, clean amps and blues, crunch, high gain, I'm not sure, I can't quite, crunchy, all that kind of stuff, with a whole bunch of effects and combination, delay and phaser and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just using reverb. I don't know if the little microphone or not picks that up. So Wichita Lineman is a Jimmy Webb song, and the version I'm doing is very loosely done off of Johnny A's version. Johnny has all sorts of fills that he does here, there, and everywhere that just really complete the song. So he can play it by himself. So the recording we just heard, I pre-recorded about almost all, well, I re-recorded all of the background guitar stuff in it, except for the absolute, just that, just the melody. That part of it. And then on the what sounded like a baritone, I'm using a Electro Harmonics pitchfork octave thing. And then Tone King did a really good video on, I think it was the Boss octave one, for a whole lot less money, and I couldn't hear any difference over YouTube, and I could have saved money, I think, by buying a different one. So let's get into it. Wichita Lineman, what key is it in? Nobody really knows, because it starts off kind of on a 4-chord, a B flat major 7th. This is the intro, to a C, add 9. I'm going to get up close and personal so you can see what I'm doing on my hands a little bit better. So we're going to start off on the intro with the B flat major 7th. It looks like an A 7th chord down here. If you play an A 7th, the bluesy dominant 7th. Most people would form it like this, but you got to use, in this case, you got to use these 2 fingers. And we're adding in the real 7th from the real scale. But we're doing it B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's the note we got to add in. B flat major 7th to a C chord. Pretty easy. But we're adding in a D note. C add D. Way up high. Different than how Johnny does it. I watch his hands and I don't see how he does. That little run is just from that D to an open E to an F, back down to the D. Does that twice, and on the 3rd time it goes to a C major 7th, C 9th. Not a C major 7th, a C 9th. And then the melody comes in. Now I think that's kind of how Johnny does it. The way I do it is I go from the B flat major 7th to an F major 7th. Then Johnny does something up here. I don't know what he does. Like the 5th and the octave of C. And then it goes to a D minor 7th. D minor 7th, A minor 7th, G 7th. To a D. C major 7th. B minor 7th. Then it goes to a B flat 6th. I'm terrible at forming that. That's a big stretch for me. I quite often will substitute a B 13th up here. Up here. to that B13th. Then it goes to a D. Most people form their Ds this way. I learned wrong when I was a kid. I formed mine, I learned wrong. And boy am I glad that I did, because this just makes so much more sense. We're all done. When it comes out of that, the second time it just does it twice. I think I'm missing a chord. G minor. G minor 7th to a C ninth. I almost always go directly to the C ninth. They have a lot in commonality. If you listen to a G minor 7th and a C ninth, it's got those same 3 notes, so I kind of skip the G minor part. Play a, it's really, the bass is going to the G anyway. Goes to the D. I do some fancy schmancy. If you got 2 guitar players in the group, split the work up. Johnny doesn't split the work up. He can do it all on his own. But I just go, up here's a D chord, and I work off that D chord with a major pentatonic. Or I'm almost out of tune. Anyway, that's all there is to that song. All there is to it. At the ending, it does that. I put in, I don't know what the real ending does. It was my ending on the song, and I just do it 3 times. I tend to repeat things 3 times on endings. And then it ends on D. And then I slide up to a D way up here, or sometimes that's just a D chord like you find down by the nut. You can bar across those 3 strings. That's a way easy way to make a D chord. And then I just play it an octave up. So Johnny A's, to me, just one of my favorite guitarists. Him and Greg Koch. There are 2 guitar players. I'm going to write a description down below, kind of telling my view of it, like it's worth something. But to me, there's not many guitarists around. You know, think of guitarists that are influenced by Chet Atkins, Jimmy Page, Wes Montgomery, Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, and a whole bunch of other ones I can't think of right now. And ask yourself, who are the guitarists? And to me, there's only 2 answers. I'm probably missing somebody out there, but it's Greg Koch and it's Johnny A. Those 2. That's all for me. If you have any questions or comments, do leave them down below. I'd love to talk to you about interesting, odd chord structured songs that you maybe can think of. I'm sure there's 100 others. Well, I think Jimmy Webb wrote this. He wrote, By the Time I Get to Phoenix. Did he write MacArthur Park? Where did that come from? Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. Anyway, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, leave a comment, hit the bell icon, and we will talk to you next time. And if you have any questions regarding regarding this song or another song or Johnny A or anything else like that, do listen to Johnny A and turn the volume up. That's one of the tricks. It's not background elevator music. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. We'll get you out of here with something.